if you want a normal life, then do normal things. But if you want a different life, then you're going to have to do different things. You can't do what everyone else is doing unless you want what everyone else has. We live in a world where there's a lot of blanket statements that people say. Blanks, it's like this. For example, people will be like, "Well, if you get a job, you get an apartment, you have a roof over your head, you got food, you can take care of your kids, then you're good." We have this misconception that if you get the basics, then you're good. But what about when somebody wants more than the basics? What about when someone wants... it's nowadays in this world, it's funny, but it's dangerous for you to want happiness. And it's in this world that we live in today, it's almost like people can't understand how you could be happy without money, without the basics. They don't... A lot of people can't be happy without the basics. So this is my perspective on this whole... just on everything, right? On this whole thing, which is... I want a different life, so I'm doing different things. I can only speak for myself, but what I've noticed is that from observing entrepreneurs to observing psychonauts to observing shamans and observing philosophers, and I've researched a lot about scientists, and I've listened to scientists and doctors speak, and I've listened to a lot of these people speak, right? And one thing I've noticed is that even the doctors had to stand out and do things differently than the people around them. The shamans did things differently than the people around them. Philosophers have always done things differently, have always thought differently. So many philosophers have been killed for what they believe in, for speaking their mind, for thinking, for pushing the boundaries. And we live in a day now where philosophers can speak their mind without getting burned at the stake, without being sentenced to drink hemlock, without, we can now speak our minds, so that's what I'm doing. I refuse to fall into the crowd. I will always be the black sheep. I will always be the psychedelic sheep of my family, and that's just who I am, right? And I don't want to fit in. I never have. Ever since I was a kid, I couldn't fit in because I knew when I was younger, I knew who I was. I think that is the thing. If you don't know who you are, then you're going to try to fit in wherever you can. Me, I'm going to stand out like a sore thumb no matter what situation I'm in, no matter what group of friends I'm in, no matter what job I'm in, no matter where I'm at, because I am me. And I refuse to fall in to the crowd. I refuse to follow suit. Just because John Smith down there, went to college and is, in a job and is comfortable and whatever, that doesn't mean that I want that same thing. Because I think there's this misunderstanding with the world, right, where it's like a lot of people think that a lot of people think that they want to go to college, they want to get a good job, they want to make money, they want to buy a house, they want to get a wife, they want to have kids. People think that they want this. That's what society has told us that we want before we were born. Before we were born, the society already had your life planned out for you. They already planned you out to go to school until you're 18, and then if you either go to college or you don't, and you get a job, and then you pay for an apartment, and then your goal, a lot of humans' goals, that old American dream thing where it's like you got to get the big house with the white picket fence, and you got to have, these are all implants in our mind. These thoughts and ideas have been implanted in our mind by the society we live in, by the sheep around us. We have these shepherds guiding the sheep, and these shepherds are the government and society and all this. And when I say the government, I don't mean like your mayor, but what I mean is this sense of organized control. The FDA trying to control, what we put into our bodies, and the DEA enforcing it, down to all the laws, that are pointless. The laws that say you're committing a crime even though there's no victim. When there's no victim, there's no crime. So it's like there's so much shit going on in the world, and people will try to tell you how you should be, and then it's like then they try to make you feel bad. So it's like for me right now, like I'm gonna be getting a job soon, most likely. If things don't work out with me trying to pull in some money with some extra things I'm doing, I'm gonna have to get a job. But so many people have been going down my throat, like, oh, you need to get a job, you need to get the. It's like I don't need to do a goddamn thing. I know that it looks to the world around me, it looks fucked up because I'm back in my mom's house right now, and I'm trying to focus on doing my things, and I've been so trying to avoid getting a typical 9 to 5 job. Even though I can get one right now, my friend's a manager at this dollar store. He can get me a job there if I'm serious. I'm not gonna ask him unless I seriously want the job, because I'm not gonna. He's the manager, so it's like I'm not gonna put his credentials on the line because of me, right? So I wouldn't ask him for the job unless I was serious about it. But it's like there's this other job I could take, the pizza place job that I've been working at on and off for the past 5 years. But like, I just don't want to do that. And so many people around me are trying to pin me in a box and judge me, right? They're trying to put me in this box and say, if you don't get a job, then you're this type of guy. And I don't give a fuck what people think about me. I don't care. I know who I am, right? And I know that what I'm doing seems crazy as fuck to everyone. It looks crazy. It really does. And I understand that completely. That it looks so fucking crazy. That it's like, I'm just some guy living at his mom's house, makes YouTube videos, I'm on social media and shit. And it's like so many people will sit there and try to tell me, you can't do this, you can't do that. When I tell them I'm writing a book, they laugh. Like, people laugh, right? And when I say I'm writing a book, they laugh because they're like, oh yeah, how are you gonna get it published? It's like, I don't ever fucking see the obstacles. I think of my ways around those obstacles. When I get to that obstacle, I will figure a way around that obstacle. But if I think about those obstacles, it'll prevent me from ever doing the book. It'll prevent me from even writing the book. I feel like so many people try to put their excuses on you. They try to put their limitations on you. Like I said, I know myself, so I know if this doesn't work out, I will get a job. But people going down my throat telling me, oh, you need to get a fucking job, that's not gonna make me get a job. That makes me, what's funny, what's so fucking funny, right, is we live in this weird fucking world where people are like, people don't understand why I don't want to get a job. So many people around me do not understand why I don't want a job. They're like, oh, but you need a job. No, right now in this world, you need money to survive. You don't need to slave your fucking life away for the dollar. And I don't know, maybe I'm being stubborn, and I'm open-minded enough to be like, hey, maybe I'm being stubborn. Or maybe I just know myself, and maybe I know that at the fucking job I'm going to be miserable as fuck, and it pisses me off. Like, I guess the main reason why I don't want to get a job is because it would ruin my inner peace. And I know everyone's like, oh, it doesn't matter about your inner peace. You gotta get an apartment. You gotta do this. You gotta do that. I don't have to do anything. None of us do. That is the delusion. That is the thing pulled over our eyes to make us think that we have to. And they make you feel bad. The world around you tries to make you feel bad. But nobody can make you feel bad about yourself if you know yourself. And because I know who I am, nobody can make me feel bad about myself. Because while people sit here and talk shit about, oh, you don't work, I sit there and laugh in my head because I'm like, I don't work. Do you know what I do with my day-to-day life? Do you know that I have a morning routine that I do every day? Do you know that about 6 hours of my day is dedicated to nothing but research and learning? Do you know that it's been like this I have friends that can tell you about it. My girl, my mom, everyone around me, can show you and tell you what I do with my life. I'm focused on my dreams. I'm focused on my goals. I'm focused on being a good father. I'm focused on not breaking my morals for the dollar. And I'm focused on trying to find a different way. And like I said, I understand when I will need to get a job. When I need to get a job is when everything I'm doing doesn't work. If everything I'm doing doesn't work. But that never crosses my mind. Because when I live in the moment, when you're living in your life, when you're chasing your dreams, you cannot allow yourself to think, what if? That cannot cross your fucking mind. It can't. It can't. This is what I tell myself, and this is what I believe deep down to my core, that I can't allow anyone to interfere with my inner peace. I can't allow anyone to interfere with my dreams. I can't allow anyone to interfere and try to change who I am. I finally found who I am. I finally found myself. Finally. And I refuse to let myself go right back to square one. So, here I am making this video because I want to do something different. Because I want to be something different. There's nothing, and let me preface and say that there's nothing wrong with doing what everyone else does. There's nothing wrong. If you personally, all you want is an apartment so you can be comfortable, so you get a job, you get an apartment so you can be comfortable, that's fine. That's great. I'm happy for you if you're happy. But I don't want to be fucking comfortable. It's boring. Being comfortable is boring. But at the same time, I don't want to be comfortable in the other way people are comfortable. Because let's say right now, if I had a good job, if I had a job right now that was paying $20 an hour, I would not be motivated to be writing 2 books, working on documentaries, working on a few new YouTube channels. I just started a new podcast because I'm no longer doing the Mind Abyss podcast. I'm doing so much things and I'm motivated to do all this. I'm also working on an EP. I'm also working on this and that. Like, I don't know. I need to be able to be myself. And I need to be able to have time to be myself. And I know that if I had what everyone else had, if I had a great life, if I was fucking rich, if I was born in a rich family, if I was rich right now, I don't know if I'd be as motivated as I am right now. I don't know if I'd have as much passion in my voice when I speak. I don't know. Because I speak from experience. I speak from literally what I'm going through and what I've gone through. So, like, if there's any time where I say that it's like, if I'm talking about something and I'm saying, like, you need to, let's say, for example, if I'm talking about hard times, and it's like, if you're going through hard times, you gotta get a morning routine, you gotta get yourself up out of it, you gotta stay focused, you gotta have good self-talk inside of your head. You can't tell yourself you can't, you can't allow yourself, you have to self-discipline yourself. When I say these things, it's because I live by these things. There's so many people that'll try to tell you something that they know, but they've never tried, or that they know theoretically, but they've never actually tried to apply it. And I try not to do that anymore because I've done that before. There's been times where I've given advice that I didn't take, and I won't do that anymore. So this is who I am, right? Going through, I've been going through shit for, this has been a, at the same time it's been a rough year, but it's been a fucking amazing year because I've learned so much this year, and I choose to look at that perspective. I choose to look at the positive that the hard times bring me, because that's what defines you, your perspective. But yeah, I'm gonna get going though. But my perspective is that I'm gonna be me, whether people agree with it or not. And I don't care what people think, because I know who I am, and I love myself. And yeah, this is who I am. I love my flaws just as much as I love my good traits. So I just accept reality. I accept it because I can change it. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So yeah, but I'm going to change it my way, my time. And I do listen to advice. I do take advice, and I do stay open-minded to the fact that I might be completely wrong. But there are some things that my soul just is like, no, stay on that path. Continue doing what you're doing. You know, don't let anyone distract you from the main objective. But listen to people, because they might give you some advice to help you get to the main objective more efficiently. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, everyone.